I want to perform their favorite song, but you know they love to sue. What song? Yeah, that song.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the nastiest, most intense, and/or most consequential rivalries in music. This doesn't include internal band member feuds like those within Oasis.
But don't look back in anger, I heard you say.
Number 10, Jay-Z versus Nas. This battle centered around two people from New York City. Preparing his debut album, Jay-Z wanted Nas to perform on a song. The Illmatic star didn't turn up, making Reasonable Doubt the first step in the rivalry. Then came Nas's second record, It Was Written, with some thoughts on rappers like Jay-Z for the message.
Threats, I'm sending them. Lex with TV sets the minimum. Ill sex, adrenaline, party with villains.
Pretty soon, other MCs like Memphis Bleak got involved, further complicating things. Nas released the harsh critique Ether to reply to Jay-Z's takeover. Then the latter performer came back with songs like Super Ugly and Dug Deeper.
When is your lies end? When is the truth begin? When is reality set in? Or does it not matter? Gotta hurt I'm your baby mama's favorite rapper.
It might have been hostile, but the waters settled after the two got on stage together in 2005. Number 9, Elton John versus Madonna. These two pop icons have different sounds and careers, making this beef somewhat unexpected. It turns out that Elton John doesn't love artists that allegedly lip-sync. During an awards acceptance speech, the British songwriter threw shade at the Vogue vocalist.
Since when has lip-syncing been live? Sorry about that, but I think everyone who lip-syncs in public on stage when you pay like 75 quid to see them should be shot.
This wasn't the only time that the Rocket Man attacked her either. In the early 2000s, John also made fun of the singer's theme for the James Bond movie Die Another Day. Madonna offered up some even-keeled rebuttals, defending her work and performance style. In 2025, the two met up backstage at Saturday Night Live and officially quashed this beef, with Madonna praising Sir Elton as an early musical inspiration, and Sir Elton praising Madonna for her AIDS advocacy work.
She was very gracious. I apologized profusely because what I said should never have appeared in public. She was very gracious. She accepted our apology. We've ordered dinner, and that's over and done with.
Number 8, Kid Rock versus Tommy Lee. When you've both been married to the same woman, you might be a little tense around each other. The same could be said for Kid Rock and Tommy Lee.
It's nothing new. It's nothing new.
Motley Crue's Lee married Pamela Anderson in the 1990s, while the singer briefly married the Baywatch star in the 2000s. Their meeting became physical at the VMAs in 2007. They might have their own explanations for how it went down, but they also seemed destined to run into each other.
He comes over, sits down next to me. Yes, smacked his hat off, punched him, and that was the end of it.
After the dust-up, the two walked away without any injuries. It's worth noting that this happened after Anderson had divorced both of them. While there could have been a lawsuit, cooler heads prevailed and the incident was etched into music history.
He eventually called me after that and said, you know, I understand the whole ordeal, let's let bygones be bygones.
Number 7, 50 Cent versus Ja Rule. Back in the late 1990s, these two rappers started a beef that lasted many years. The origins seemed to be controversial, but Ja Rule said it might have traced back to a bad meeting at a video shoot.
People don't know what to believe, so they believe.
Well, sometimes, a lot of times the person with the louder voice is what goes down in history, as the story.
This is how it goes sometimes. Sometimes it's like that.
The Clapback Performer and Murder Inc. records then became some of the Indie Club stars' biggest enemies. Along the way, a robbery and a stabbing were seemingly linked to the feud.
Beef, you don't want none, so don't start none. You just a small player in this game. Play your part, son. Murder, I don't believe you.
The two continued to trade musical jabs long after they were topping the charts. Their antics even escalated to 50 Cent buying up tickets at his rival's show. The Get Rich or Die Tryin' hitmaker arguably came out on top, but he also feuded with plenty of other artists.
You're known for having beefs with people, okay?
Beef is not always a bad thing.
Okay, how is a beef a good thing? Because I don't want to go over like bad history with you, but you were shot 9 times. Yeah. Okay.
That wasn't good.
Number 6, Nicki Minaj versus Cardi B. In the 2010s, Nicki Minaj became a household name for her fast rhyming and bold style.
The sun done, yep, the sun done. Came up, but we still up in dungeon. The done, yep, in London. Competition, why, yes, I will love some.
She was easily one of the most powerful female rappers until Cardi B. With hits like Bodak Yellow, the newer artist helped change the game in the latter part of the decade. You could then argue that the young performer was encroaching on Minaj's territory.
Why would I hop in some beef? Why? When I could just hop in a Porsche. You heard she gone through what from who? That's not a reliable source.
Despite collaborations on motorsport, these two seem to be stewing over each other. This then turned into a physical confrontation at a New York Fashion Week event. Cardi B threw a shoe at her rival, ramping up the dispute even more and making it much harder to mend.
And then a minute later, this is her exiting the plaza with her whole crew in tow with a New York Police Department. It was complete madness.
Number 5. Eminem versus Machine Gun Kelly. Eminem had been successful for most of the 2000s, while Machine Gun Kelly began his ascent in the 2010s. Then things got personal when Machine Gun Kelly called Eminem's daughter attractive. If that wasn't enough, MGK doubled down when he called out the older star on a Tech 9 track.
Popped in on the top charts like the cop card, so remind y'all you just rap, you not guards. And I don't care who got bars.
In 2018, the Kamikaze album and Not Alike kept the battle alive. This song addresses the tension that had been lingering for years.
You're not ready, fool, break yourself like Rocksteady Crew. Obviously, I'm not getting through. We can get it poppin' like Red and Black.
Rap Devil was one hostile follow-up from Kelly, while Killshot returned the favor with a much more expansive diss. 2 years later, the release Unaccommodating went after the younger MC again.
But when they ask me, is the war finished with MGK? Of course it is. I cleanse them of his mortal sins. I'm God and the Lord forgives even the devil worshippers. I'm moving on.
The multi-generational war could always bubble up once more. Number 4. Oasis versus Blur. The battle of Britpop played out in the tabloids and the charts.
It was an NME cover. That's what defined it. The NME had Blur v Oasis, and they had a couple of boxers with their fists up.
Both Oasis and Blur were pitted against each other in the 1990s, each representing new sounds in British rock. Their respective output was unique, but that didn't stop the two from butting heads. In 1995, both bands put out singles that directly competed with each other.
We found out in advance what day Oasis were going to release theirs, and we thought, would it be funny if we released ours on the same day? They then moved their release date so it wouldn't conflict with ours, and then we moved ours again back to theirs. So it was on.
Country House won the battle, while Roll With It didn't do too much worse. The lingering feud might have been overshadowed by the internal tensions between Liam and Noel Gallagher. For his Gorillaz side project, Damon Albarn later collaborated with the older Gallagher and seemingly left the ill will at the door.
We got the power to be loving each other no matter what happens.
Number 3. Kanye West versus Taylor Swift. It all started at the 2009 MTV Video Music Awards. Taylor Swift was on stage, but Kanye West decided to interrupt her acceptance speech.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
The event led to widespread criticism of the rapper. What could have been water under the bridge turned into an extended feud.
There are going to be people along the way who will try to undercut your success or take credit for your accomplishments.
West mentioned the vocalist in his song Famous, calling her names and claiming responsibility for her fame. The larger conflict played out while Swift repeatedly defended herself. There's also debate over a phone call between the two, but it all seemed to be overblown. Many years later, this remains one of the most random and unnecessary feuds in music history.
I would very much like to be excluded from this narrative.
Number 2. Kendrick Lamar versus Drake. This conflict traces back to the 2010s, but Kendrick Lamar and Drake's feud became better known in the 2020s. They both made accusations about each other, building to a diss war that spanned several high-profile singles.
Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT? Who you bitches really rooting for? Like a kid that had bad from January to November.
Songs like First Person Shooter and Like That renewed the conflict in a huge way. Lamar then fired back with the Grammy-winning track Not Like Us. To make matters worse for the Canadian rapper, Lamar played the Super Bowl 59 halftime show. This gave him a chance to perform his disses to an even larger audience.
Why you trolling like a, ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor.
With Drake's ex Serena Williams present, the performance put a defining stamp on this beef. The Toronto-born artist is no stranger to feuds either, considering his friction with Meek Mill.
Don Corleone, trust me, at the top it isn't lonely.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Tupac Shakur versus Biggie Smalls. In the struggle between East and West Coast, this feud might be the biggest. Tupac Shakur was making a name for himself in rap and film as Biggie Smalls put out classics like Ready to Die. They were two of the greatest artists of their day, competing in a personal rivalry that's inspired much speculation.
There were accusations of treachery and betrayal. Tupac accused Biggie of trying to have him killed. Tupac claimed to be having an affair with Biggie's wife.
The rappers turned into musical enemies, with a larger battle forming between Suge Knight's Death Row Records and Diddy's Bad Boy Records. Shakur was shot one night and thought his cross-country rival could have been involved.
When they was like he got shot, I was just more like, again? You know what I'm saying? He always getting shot or shot at. He gonna pull through this one again, make a few records about it, and it's gonna be over.
Songs like Smalls' Who Shot Ya and Hit 'Em Up took the musical war into deeply personal territory. Both men later died in separate and unsolved shootings, forever etching this conflict into legend.
Young and we was dumb, but we had heart. In the dark where we survived through the bad parts.
Did we forget another intense battle between two artists? Let us know in the comments below.
You need to just stop.